Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Willie Jolley and my beautiful bride.
This is Dee.
And we are the Jollies. We're the authors of the book, Make Love,
Make Money,
Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We're excited that you're here with us tonight. We are going to be celebrating our 39th anniversary in just about 2 weeks now. And we've been married for going on 39 years, haven't had an argument in over 37 years. And when we were on a Today show, they said, "You never had an argument." I said, "I didn't say that." I said, "We haven't had an argument in 30X years." At that point, I think it was 36 years. I said, "But those first couple of years were like World War III." But we learned some wise principles from some wise marriage mentors who taught us how to go from arguing to loving, and how to do so with being able to disagree without being disagreeable, without arguing, without having arguments.
So we're here to talk about
Oh,
how not to be a part of the great divorce.
I haven't even welcomed the people. You're so anxious. First, I want to welcome all of you who might be first timers and say welcome, 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 as well as those who are our regulars. We want to thank you for the Kazeras and Senior Terrence and Ron and Gladys Pemberton and so many others who join us every Monday night. But here's what we want you to know, that tonight we are Memorex. And y'all, some of y'all too young to understand that. We're not live. We are in another country. And so we pre-recorded this so we would have a program for you tonight, but we are not live. So your chats will not be responded to because we're not live in person. We are a few hours difference in time zones. So just want to give you that up front. We'll repeat that a couple times through this. For those who are first timers, you can also know that that you can get the book and a chapter from the book, free chapter at jolleymarriage.com. And then all of our previous shows are on YouTube, on the Jolley Marriage Show on YouTube. Now we can
Our
come.
topic for this evening.
All right.
Because we're about keeping marriages together.
Yes, we are.
And there tends to be an increase in the divorce rate among a particular group of people.
Not just an increase, the fastest rate of increase
of those who are
sector.
65 and older,
Mm-hmm.
who have been married for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fastest growing divorce group.
Mm.
And the question becomes why?
Yep.
And some suggestions as to how we can prevent it. This is part 3. So you want to do your quick summary?
Yeah. This is one of the most popular or most intriguing topics we've done in the whole time we've been doing this show, which is now going on 5 years. And it's been amazing how many people have responded to this topic, the Great Divorce. And AARP has written articles about it. Others have written articles about it. And we even had a radio station contact us and say, "Hey, this is something we want to talk about." Because
so we did an interview.
We did an interview on that radio station. And we obviously are not the complete experts, but we've been doing a lot of research and learning that people are really seeing an increase in divorce after the age of 65, who've been married 30, 40, and some 50 years.
So what are top 3 reasons for that?
Number one, we went over first week is called, when the kids move out,
Emptiness syndrome.
the emptiness syndrome. That they focused all their energy for the whole time the kids were growing up on the kids. And let me tell you, kids will suck out every ounce, every piece, every molecule of air in your life if you allow them to. So people who focused all their energies on the kids, and didn't have any time for each other because that was not something they focused on. And then one day the kids were gone. They're gone off to college, they're gone off to their life. And then these two people didn't know each other. And it was terrible. And it happens so often. That's why we said the solution to that, we gave a solution to that was every week have a date night. We did that. We got that advice early on in our marriage. And for the last 32, 33, 34 years, or maybe 35 years, we have had a date night every Thursday night. Every Thursday night. And even now, the kids are grown and gone, and we even got grandkids popping up. But even if they come visit, everybody knows Thursday night, date night, date night, date night, date night. So that's first, empty nest syndrome, and how you rectify that is date night. Week number 2, we talked about a topic area that was very dynamic about parents who disagreed about how much support to give to their adult children.
Financial support.
So financial support to give to their adult children. One parent wanted to, well, it was a story that came to us. A parent had a child, or they had a child who was grown, over 40, but was poor money manager, poor, couldn't keep a job, got put out, got evicted, living in his car. The mama says, I want to take 100 grand of my retirement and buy him a condo. The father says, oh no, we've been saving all our lives for that. Well, there's my, she is on her 401k. He said, but that's our money. We, my money, your money, my money. I don't think that. And so it created a big problem.
And your suggestion? My
suggestion was, let her lead with her heart. If that's what she wants to do, just don't put it in his name. Buy it as an investment. It will appreciate. And she will be happy. At least she knows her baby, even though he grown, has a roof over his head. And don't fight this one. But here's what I do recommend. That
you set boundaries.
Yes, there should be boundaries and some commitments and expectations, and they must make a commitment to these boundaries. They must sign a agreement letter. Here, what we're expecting. You're going to pay the condo fee. You will do this. You will do that. Boom, boom, boom. And make them sign it. And if they don't keep their word,
that's another problem.
That's another problem. But then there are consequences for that problem. And a little tough love does work. We've experienced having to give tough love to children or grandchildren, and how they realize that we set a standard. Here's our standard. We do not compromise that standard. We will say, you got to rise up to our standard. We're not going to make our standard come down to your comfort level. You got to raise your excellence up to our standard. So that's second. So this week, we're going to talk about a whole nother thing, which is another topic we've come across. We're getting all these letters. By the way, folks, you can always send us a letter if you got an issue or concern. Or
email.
Send us an email. I always say a letter, but by email to info@williejolly.com and say, I need your help on this or that. And we will never use your name. We'll never make you public. We will just talk about the issue so that you can be impacted, and others who might also be going through the same thing can be impacted by the information we share. As many of you are ongoing viewers of this show, the Jolley Marriage Show, know that my beautiful bride is a brainiac. She's a type A. Everything has to be researched and everything has to be written. So she has done very detailed research on this next subject, which is the two of you worked all these years. You work. You save. You put money away, and then you retire, but you have not agreed on what you're going to do with the money. And you wake up one day in retirement.
But not just the money, but the kind of lifestyle.
Well, yeah. What do you do with the money? What kind of lifestyle you? And you wake up one day after being frugal, or you've been not living outside your means, and one day you wake up and you got a nest egg of $1 million or $2 million in investments, in 401k, and all of this, and you say, I didn't realize it. The money has grown over the time, which is why we recommend people get a 401k, start investing early. But one day you wake up and you got a couple $1 million or $1 million. What do you do? Well, one partner says, whew, let's go on let's take a cruise. The other one says, no, I don't want to do that. Or let's buy a place in Florida. I don't want to do that. Okay, she don't want me to go to Florida. And so
you can go to Florida, sweetheart. I'll be right here waiting for you.
see, so I guess I ain't going to Florida because y'all know wherever she go, I go with her. And so
it comes.
so having these different things that they could, but when they can't agree on it, when they can't come to a consensus,
a compromise,
there's a problem. And we're seeing more and more that happen.
So some of the common problems that couples experience when it's time to plan for retirement and to actually do it.
One person I know wanted to buy a boat. The wife said, I'll go boat on a boat once in a while, but he wanted his own boat. That was the problem.
Did they get a boat?
They got a boat. and later he said the two happiest days about buying a boat is the day you buy the boat and the day you get rid of the boat.
Because a boat is expensive.
It's expensive. Now, I got a lot of friends who are boaters, okay, and they love boating. And they're good.
What do? You just...
That's not even going into that.
Okay.
That's a whole nother topic. But I'm saying he wanted a boat. She didn't. He got the boat. She went along with it, but she wasn't happy. But that was a big chunk of their...
But he got rid of it.
He did. I don't know if he got rid of it for a loss or a gain.
Okay. So what are some of the common problems as you're either in retirement? This would be helpful for those who are
for those who are joining late. This is a pre-record. Your comments, we're not responding because we're not actually here right now. We're in another country. Okay.
So number one, what is your vision of retirement? You need to have, again, communication, open and honest. And what are your dreams? What's your vision? So what do you think you want to do? Where do you think you even want to go? So to have conversations before you actually retire is important.
Yeah, that sounds good, but here's the reality.
And if you're having your date night, you talk about your dreams, right?
Yeah.
Like you told me many times, and we've even looked. Well, you know what? I want to be in two places. I want to here, and then I want to go to Florida when it's cold in DC.
I love DC. I just don't like cold.
And my position is, okay. And we actually looked.
Yes, we did. And so that we have.
And then I expressed.
No, you didn't express then. It wasn't until after the Get Motivated tour, after it wasn't logical or reasonable for us to get a home where I would never be able to go there during the time when I was on the Get Motivated tour, because we were gone every Monday through Thursday or Friday, and they didn't make sense. But then after the tour was over, then COVID came. And after COVID came, then things changed in Florida. I'll just leave it at that. You said, no, I'm not interested. So the prices are up. The environment's changed. So that said, I still like Florida.
Okay. And you can go visit whenever you want.
maybe we'll figure out another.
That's what I'm saying. This
we'll work on it.
This is a conversation.
We have a conversation.
Yes,
we conversation about everything.
We conversate.
We conversate. I don't think it's a word, but we'll make it up. We'll use it. We'll conversate about everything, and then we come to a consensus, and we work together on that consensus. So we might end up going to South Carolina.
I'm not even going to respond to that. That's the first time I heard that.
Well, I'm just throwing out new ideas.
I will marinate on
because
that.
my friend Norm Jenkins and his wife, they are in now, and he plays golf all day.
And you're going to play golf?
No, I'm gonna write books. I'm gonna give speeches. I'm gonna do virtual events. I'm gonna do radio.
So our open and honest conversation says, where do you want to retire and what would you do? And you're not really retiring. You're just simply saying you're going to some place that has a warm climate.
I just want to be warm. I love doing what I do.
And needs an airport, because you can go, there are lots of warm places that might be inconvenient for you to maneuver if you're still planning on maintaining your current.
Well, I don't think I speak at the same level where I have over the years where I'm on a plane every day. But I do need to go speak. And when people make me an offer for enough money, I'll get on a plane. Hello. Anyway.
So we're discussing,
Yes.
What does it look like for you? That's what you want to do. You haven't asked me what I want to do.
Hey, this is true. What do you want to do?
I want to read.
Can't you read on the beach in a warm climate? Couldn't you do that?
Have you ever go to different libraries and go to Smithsonian and do research? Maybe go back to school.
Well, talk about some of the things. I got to plug up to the power source. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So couples need to talk about their dreams and their goals beyond the work. And in some instances, some people complete one career, they retire, and they get another career. It's kind of like what Willie is talking about. He never really intends to retire. He would just move from doing one thing he loves to doing less of that thing that he loves, but to never really to stop doing it. Another challenge is one of, if I retire and I'm home, it becomes an annoyance for the other person who might be more homebound than the one who has been out of the house. And there can be conflict. So communication, again, is then very important, because the one who retires back in the home can be a pain in the rear.
You know,
they're underfoot.
That's somebody who said that. We've had, I'm not used to you being around here all the time. I'm not used to you underfoot all the time. I'm not used to this. So again, communication, saying,
start planning before you just, I'm retiring on the 31st. Oh no, that's a problem.
Well, how about the other option? One wants to retire, one wants to keep working.
So you got to talk about it. How are you going to make that work?
Right.
So those are issues that need to come up. Then what about not actually planning? How much money are you going to need to maintain your lifestyle, assuming you want to maintain your lifestyle? The old research, financial advisors and the like have said, well, you need about 70 to 90% of your current income in retirement. But I disagree with that. You say, why?
Why?
When you look at what's going on today with illness, the cost of taking care of one who might have a long-term illness, that is why long-term care insurance becomes crucial. And we know of many people who have retired, become ill, and then had to do a reverse mortgage or sell their property because they needed the resources to take care of themselves. So this is something that you have to plan. You have to think through where those resources coming from. Then, what if you decide, I don't want this house anymore. I just want to downsize. I want to go to a 1 bedroom or a bedroom with a den, because I don't want to go up and down the stairs, which is a problem. We were in Baltimore at a function, and there were several people over the age of 60. Was it 5 stories?
It was 1, 2, 3. It was four stories. Straight up though.
With an open step floor plan where you could see through the floors, whatever that. And people complain.
They did complain.
Oh my God, no, I am not going
upstairs.
I'm not going up to the top floor to look out over the city.
Because it's too much pain. It's too much uncomfortable.
Too much for me to take the stairs.
Right.
Wow. So
one person says, I like the house as it is. The other person says, it's uncomfortable because I want to downsize. There might be conflict.
I have a hip problem, something else.
Knee problem.
Now I need to think about how I need to adjust my space, my home, so that I can get around. Maybe I need everything on one level. So those are
I got another one.
Major considerations.
I got another one.
Yes.
One spouse is retiring. Another spouse is an entrepreneur. And the retiring spouse says, I know all our bills are met because the entrepreneur takes care of the mortgage. But the entrepreneur had a bad couple months and the mortgage got behind. And now you got to try and refi in a bad economy or in a high interest, or you got to take out equity and the other spouse is not happy.
Well, you could borrow from your own money. You can borrow from your 401k.
I was waiting for you to say that. Okay. What are your options?
You can borrow from your 401k. Because you said one is an entrepreneur.
Well, they're over 65.
And one works for the government. I know who you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that is not a problem. You don't need to take out a loan. I mean, I don't know how much money they're asking for.
We don't know the details.
But if you've been working for 30, 40 years and you work for the government, you have a 403B. You don't have the 401k. That's the government version of it. So you have retirement money that you could borrow from and then pay back.
Okay.
And if you have a Roth, which means you have retirement money put in after taxes that grows tax free, that you can take out after the age of 59 and a half with no penalties.
So what's the solution to these issues, though?
Communication.
So you got to talk about the money.
Communication first. And number two, when I say communicate first, this is what I'm thinking I want to do. I've got all these questions. How much? Oh, you want to retire? We're going to retire. How much money do you need? Number two, after communicating about it, meet with the fee-only advisor. Now I say fee-only advisor. Fee-only advisor says they cannot put you in a particular product, like
proprietary product. Whatever.
The advisor works for
Acme
Advantage,
Insurance,
whatever. Right?
Acme Insurance Company. They put you
into
an annuity, an Acme annuity.
No. A fee-only advisor is, here's a flat fee for me to review your portfolio.
Give you unbiased.
Here's a flat fee for me to sit down. That varies. For me to sit down and say, okay, who are you? Let me learn your personality, the challenges you have, and let me help you lay out a plan that will work for you. Okay. Yeah. So number one solution is you got to talk about with that date night.
Oh, we talk about the date night. You got to have the date night. Everybody should have the date night every week. You don't have to spend no money, but y'all make it intentional that this time for us to talk. Okay.
So there really isn't a total surprise. Oh my God, what are you talking about? Retirement? Because you're communicating all along.
Oh, well, you look mighty cute tonight. Go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry. I got distracted.
And then number two, you're going to get a fee-only advisor, right?
Yes.
To help you sort out all of the pieces, like you got Social Security, you have a 401k or a 403b or a pension plan. And did you know that you have to decide, do you take all the money at the same time? For some people, they might retire at 65, but they don't start taking their Social Security until they're 70.
What's the advantage of that?
It increases the amount of Social Security that you get increases every year, increases by 8% every year until they change the laws or whatever. So if you take it at 65, let's say you take it at 65 and you're getting $2,000 a month. So if you take it at 70, how much more is 8% times 5 years?
Let's just say you get $3,000.
Yes. So you have to, and while it sounds easy, you really need an advisor to help you decide when you need to take that. So you might not take your Social Security because you have other investments that you can take.
Or you're still working, or one of you were working.
Right.
And so there are all sorts of ways.
Right.
So the bottom line is the communication. And when you disagree about this, you try and find some place of Compromise. That's the word we want everybody to talk about. Compromise. And then you add one more person. If one person's got a health challenge.
Oh, yes.
And that's draining.
And if there's a health challenge, and many people don't prepare, all right, this is how much I need. I've got my basics covered, but there's no extra money because life happens.
Life happens.
And what became popular like 10 or 15 years ago with the long-term care insurance had to be recalibrated because they really didn't understand the overall cost, how much this was going to cost. So for long-term care, some of the insurance companies got out of the business because they had calculated incorrectly as to how much it was going to cost.
Wow.
Like we have long-term care and it has gone up significantly. But then you get to a point where, okay, I've had it for like 10 or 15 years. Do I get rid of it? Because long-term care can cost anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 a month. So if you have a house note, house not paid for, you retire, house not paid for, you get sick, you have all the medical charges related to that, medicines and the like, and then you have to have around-the-clock care, all your money's gone. So you really need to plan for that. That requires a conversation.
So let's go back over. Let's go through the points that we talked about over these last 3 weeks of the great divorce. Divorce, first of all, we want you to stay together. That's first of all.
It definitely is cheaper.
Second, that much of the challenge is due to communication or lack thereof. And third is that you have to have some compromise as well as some kindness. So the word you used in last week was that you communicate with kindness, like with the old adult children that one parent wanted to help and the other one didn't. There's still a kindness issue. Now, the one who didn't say, because I've worked 60 years, I've put this money away, I've saved, I've been frugal, I've been chunking away, and now you want to give it to this kid this person who's grown can't take their own bills and their own responsibility, and we are footing the bill or still paying to be their parents. So there was a challenge, but setting some boundaries for that kind of outgo of finances, outlay, and then also here are the expectations, here are the boundaries, here are the expectations, and here are the consequences.
So set some boundaries. This is how much money I can give you. This is how long I'm going to give it to you.
That's right. And so,
and this is what you got to do.
And you have to do right. What do you have to do? Meet with your financial advisor. Everyone should have one. And then
a fee only.
That
is very important.
And if you're thinking about downsizing, do your research. Find out where y'all both will be comfortable. Find a place where you both will be comfortable. And if you want to travel, then make those decisions in a reasonable, rational conversation between the two with kindness. One person
and with a budget, because we have friends who are taking these 6-month cruises.
Wow, 2 6 months, and that was great. So, but they could afford it. They had a plan, and then what is your legacy to? What's the legacy plan? What do you want to leave in your trust? Everybody should have a trust. If you need a good trust lawyer, we got one, Amy Griffith. She's fantastic. But get a trust. You should have. Everybody should have a will. Oh God, we talked about that the other day. A family that was all divided because the property was in probate.
Very successful family, a blended family.
But there was probate because they did.
Still in probate a year and a half
later. Look, we want you to communicate.
Money plan, going down to going to
have an expectation, and then be kind. Our time is up. I want to thank y'all for yours. Again, we're the authors of the book Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. Again, this is a pre-recorded show. So if you've been chatting with us, we haven't responded because we are away. And then third, if you are going to get the book, get 2 copies. And when you go to jolleymarriage.com to get the book, watch the TED Talk. And if you just want to see the TED Talk, go and then get the free chapters. But we want you to be impacted and when your marriage to stay together. If you got issues, concerns, problems that you want us to address or discuss without ever calling your name is just info@williejolly.com. Email us at info@williejolly.com. And then if you're interested in, or you know somebody who wants us to promote them on this show, we're going to be having sponsors that can be part of this, so we can promote them, so we can get more companies to get the word out about them to our audience. Does that make sense? Makes sense. All right, our time to go is here. So we thank you for yours. Have a great week on purpose, and we'll see you next week, 9 o'clock Eastern on Monday night. Here we go.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.